Hi, today I'm going to make a brief review of new JeraSoft Billing version 3.18. Before we move on, I want to mention that you can check out our previous webinars on our official YouTube channel, as well as the complete revision list of features and improvements on our documentation portal. One of the most significant reworks of version 3.18 is adding a separate rates module to the system. As you can see, it has two brand new sections in it, the special rates and the agreement sections. We also have moved the rates from outside of the rate tables to make rates management even easier and more convenient. Let me explain all of this block by block. The rate section is presented as a list of rates from all of the rate tables in the system. You can filter them by any given rate table right here in the advanced filter. We've also moved import and export to the rate section. As you may have noticed, these buttons were inactive by default. However, when I filtered the rates by the rate table, they became active. Thus, from now on, if you want to perform import and export, you can do it from the rate section. We've also added a pleasant feature of inline rates editing. For this, simply click on a rate you wish to edit it, and confirm. Your changes will be implemented straight away. It's also worth noting that you can access the rates within a particular rate table by clicking the specific button next to each rate table in the rate table section. When clicking on it, you will see all the rates belonging to this particular rate table. The special rate section gives JeraSoft Billing users the ability to configure special pricing for destinations. A special rate is a fixed price for destination that you agreed on with your vendor or customer. Let me explain it to you in more detail on a brief example. When you add a special rate to the system, you need to specify a rate table, which will be, for example, customer B for me, the code name, that is very important. The special rates are configured using code names for destinations, and then the rate. Then you hit OK. After adding a special price, the creation of rates with policy regular for all the codes for defined destination will be triggered in the respective rate table. You can see them by hitting on this button. So as you can see, the code name is France and there are 3 codes. Please be advised that you cannot edit or delete a rate with policy regular created on the basis of a special rate. If you want to do this, you need to configure your settings in the special rate section. So when you edit something here, the configured settings will be forced on the rates based on this special rate. As you can see, the rate is changed. Note that the rates generator does not alter rates that have policy special, nor will it change the regular rates within them. The generation process affects only the rates that have policy regular and were not created on the basis of a special price. The agreement section is presented as a list of agreements between you and your customers or vendors on the rates changes and notifications about those changes. The system considers agreements also while generating rates and during clients' notifications. Agreements are meant to regulate rates notifications to your customers. For this, you can define what day will be the day of notification and what period will the system consider when notifying a customer of rates with various statuses: increased delay, decreased delay, unchanged, new, and closed delay. Now let's move on to the rates import modifications. As I previously mentioned, you can perform import from the rates section. In the newest version, the import is improved as it is configured thanks to the Import Manager, a separate tool in the System Task Scheduler section, making import not just a process but a service. The Import Settings window has been reworked for your convenience. After the system will parse the import file, instead of skipping the unnecessary lines as you did before, just select the start and end lines by clicking on them. They will be marked green. The system will import only the information between and including the first and the last selected lines. For the time-saving purposes, we've added the Auto-Detect Column option that works like this. Click on the line, you wish to be the first line of your imported file. The system will see the previous line as the header and try to detect the column names. We have also removed the delimiter field here in the Step 1 file settings, as the system automatically detects the delimiter in the imported files. The advanced settings in the Step 2 have also undergone some improvements. The most significant one is adding a new analysis settings section for analyzing imported files. Here you can set three options: agreements tolerance, changes threshold, and deviation tolerance. Agreements tolerance option determines whether the imported rate table tolerates discrepancies between the imported file and assigned agreement. The changes threshold option determines the allowed number of the imported file changes to the current rate table, and the deviation tolerance determines how much a rate can differ from a current one, both regarding increase and decrease. If any of these options will be violated, the system will generate an alert, so you will be more aware of what's happening during the import process. We've also introduced some improvements to the AZ mode. As you can see, the AZ interval is now not a fixed date, but a period, for AZ mode to work during automatic import process. In case when AZ mode is enabled, like here, active rates will be closed on an interval specified here in the AZ interval field. You can specify any given moment in time, and the AZ close date will show you the exact date and time the rates will be closed. The datetime format field has been reworked to take three options for the importing process to be even easier. Just select the year first, day first, or auto detect option for the system to detect the format of datetime of your imported file. The imported rate status has been moved to the code rules section. Now you can define whether they will be active or stashed after the import process. In the effective date field, you now can define the amount of days or hours from any given moment in time when your imported rates will be active. The exact date and time will be shown right here. Another major improvement was introduced to the rates generator. In the very generator settings, the configurable options became more understandable. From now on, the optimization options have been reduced to simple optimization and codes optimization to make the generation management process even easier without loss of functional abilities. Apart from that, rates generation can now be fully automatic if you assign a rates generator and an agreement to the respective rate table in its parameters and enable the automatic generation checkbox. So in this case, the rates generator will work like this. It will scan the sources indicated in the rules list for any changes. If it sees them, it will trigger automatic generation for the target rate table. We've also added the terminator's tags to the sources section of the rates generation rules settings. You can specify any tag here to be searched for during the rates generation process. In the newest version, if you would want to perform export from a rate table generated by the rates generator, go to its rules list, select the Create Rate Table option, fill in the necessary fields, select an agreement, and generate this rate table. You will be able to perform export from there. Apart from that, there is now a system tool called Rates Generator in the System Task Scheduler section. In the rate table section, you will be able to see which rate table has a generator assigned. The generator button will be active, and by clicking on it, you will be able to run the generation process. It is also worth noting that the current version of a rates generator is closely bonded with the codecs, special rates, and agreements. To make generation more agile, the tool takes the information from the mentioned sections and analyzes it for better performance. In the newest version, we've added two extra configurable settings to the rates notifications. The first one is technical prefix. You can use it as a separate column for the export file while notifying a customer about the rate changes. If there are several technical prefixes, the system will send different rates lists for each of them. The option to include or exclude a technical prefix is implemented in the rate notification settings of the specific reseller, as I showed you, and in the rate table export settings. The second one is notification status, the status of the rates sent to the customer. You can see the rate status field in the Advanced filter in the Rate section. When you select a rate table, it will be pre-filled with the date of the last notification to the customer. Please note that the Rates Notificator works based on an agreement applied to a rate table. This tool scans the particular rate table to detect changes, then sends notifications according to rates generated by the applied agreements. If some of the rates are out of the current notification cycle but are pre-generated, they will not be sent to the customer. We've also improved summary report and invoicing configuration. We've added an option to group summary report results by time profiles. To use this feature, simply select the time profile in the Group By field and hit Query. As a result, the generated report will have an extra time profile column indicating the time profiles to which the respective rates refer, making it easier to read and analyze. Respectively, we've added a new time profiles name variable to the invoices templates. Now, when a user generates an invoice using this variable, there will be additional information about the time profiles used for each rate in the Summary of Services section. That's it for the major updates of the JeraSoft Billing version 3.18. Thanks for staying with me and have a nice day.